Hey everyone, how's it going? Like Butter here, and today I'm bringing you a Star Wars Battlefront commentary. I actually have a specific thing that I want to talk about, which could be a little bit controversial, but I want to give my opinions and thoughts about it. I may have to use two gameplays. I got a couple of good gameplays in the timeline right now, so we'll have to see if we actually need to use the second gameplay or not, unless I can get my point across in one video, or one gameplay rather. So I've been seeing a lot of people, whether it be reviews, YouTubers, streamers, Star Wars fans, you name it, a lot of people have been complaining about the amount of content that is in Star Wars Battlefront. And I want to talk about why companies today, and it's not only EA, it's not only DICE, it's every company is making season passes and DLC for their games. And I want to explain to you guys because I feel like there's a large amount of people out there who just don't understand. Yeah, it sucks that games are getting more expensive in that in order to get a full game, you're going to have to pay around $120. But let me explain to you why that is, okay? So games have been $60 since the Xbox 360 came out, I believe. That was when games standards were $60. I'm not sure how much like Nintendo cost or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure that when 360 hit, games became $60, and that was how much you had to pay in order to get, you know, obviously the game. Now, that was back in 2005, I believe. Is that when the 360 came out? I believe so. 2005. And how is it possible that when games get better on newer engines, and obviously, like, you know, teams like DICE have more and more employees, how is it possible that you think it's fair that we pay the same amount of money for a game with this quality? By the way, guys, this is the best, and so many people that I've talked to agree with me. Every single person that I've said, this is the best looking game that I have ever seen when it comes to graphics, lighting, FPS. Everything just looks absolutely gorgeous. It's the best looking game I've ever seen in my life. Guys, if you can find a game that looks better than this game on PC, please just send me a video or something. I need to see it. Anyways, how is it fair to the company like EA and DICE to expect a game with this quality, these graphics, this amazing look, to have the same amount of content in a game like Battlefront 2 that came out years ago that cost, you know, however much it cost? What it cost, $40, $50, I think. I think PlayStation games cost $50, PlayStation 2. How do you expect a game to have that amount of content and look this good without paying more than $60? Like, you know, you got inflation, you got obviously more people working on in the company, you got all of these factors that tie into why games are going to cost more money. And the reason they're not charging you guys $120 right off the pop and they're actually charging you $60 and then doing DLC is the reason is that people would not buy the game if it was $120. You're paying $120 as a whole up front. Instead, you're paying for it in parts, like just like if you're, you know, if you're paying off a mortgage, you're not going to pay, you know, the 500 grand that you spend on your house or 300 grand, whatever it is, all in once. No, the bank's going to pay for it. You're going to get a loan and you're going to have a mortgage and you're going to be able to pay for it monthly. That's kind of how this is. Like, they're not going to charge you guys up front because as a company, that's not smart because people will see, wow, $120, I'm not going to purchase that. That's why I don't understand why people complain about microtransactions in games when microtransactions, in my opinion, are the best possible way to keep DLC free, but also have the people like me. Like, I honestly think if there was a cool skin or a cool character that you could buy or open in packs, you know, I have the extra money where I can just do that if I enjoy the game enough, you know. But for the people who maybe be, you know, tight on cash or like, you know, college kids, trust me guys, I went through college, I know how it is, and only have enough money to purchase the game initially, then that's good because, you know, you're still going to get the DLC for free. Like, the skins and the other stuff don't alter the gameplay whatsoever. That's why I don't really understand why people complain about microtransactions. Obviously, if the microtransactions cause you to be better at the game, yeah, that's a bit annoying. That's pay to win. Companies do that for cash grab. But I just don't understand why people out there don't just don't physically get it that games that are made these days cost a lot more than it cost back then when the the PlayStation 2 games were coming out and stuff. I mean, yeah, you can say, oh, well, they're saving money because they're releasing games digitally and they're not having to print as many games and this and that. Honestly, games of this caliber, if you expected everything that's coming out in the DLC, by the way, the DLC is coming out with more maps than the original game. People are freaking out about that. However, if you expect all that DLC to be chunked into the original game, then you're just expecting way too much for $60. That's just my opinion. In my opinion, that game, if it had all that content on the disc day one, would be worth more than $60. However, you guys wouldn't buy the game if it was more than $60. Even me, like 120 bucks for a game, I'd kind of be like, I don't know, man. Like, what is this game gonna offer for that much money? And that's why they do that. That's why they split it up into DLC. So I feel like there's a lot of people out there who are confused, who don't understand why companies like EA, companies like Ubisoft, companies like, you name it, why they're doing DLC packs. Is because making these games are costing companies so much more money these days. And the fact that people expect there to not be an increase in the amount of money that you're paying for a game is just, I don't know, I think it's a bit ignorant. I understand it can be frustrating that gaming is getting more and more expensive, but it is, because technology is going forward and we're getting more and more to real experiences. Like, I've never seen a game that looks so realistic than this game. Like, it's unreal. Now, if you're one of those people who don't really care about the quality of a game, like me, I'm a sucker for that kind of thing. When I'm going through Endor and I'm seeing the grass glisten because of the mildew on the ground, or the rain dripping off the trees, or the fact how maps actually change in how some are nighttime and some are daytime, and if you look up and just look into the foliage and how realistic the game looks, if you're not a sucker for that stuff like I am, like, I absolutely love when games look realistic, and this game feels smoother than any game I've ever played when it comes to Star Wars. If you're not that type of person, then play the old Battlefronts, play the old PlayStation 2 games. I don't get why, if you think that Battlefront 2 had more content than this game, yeah, you're right. Battlefront 2, I'm sure, cost a lot less money to make. They needed a lot less people to make that because of the consoles and because of the PCs back then that can't do what the PCs and consoles can do today. So I just want to talk a little bit about that and explain it to some people, because I feel like there's some people out there that just want to, rage about the game not having content. And I think people should look at it more logically and try to understand why companies are doing this. They're not jacking up the price because, they want to fuck you guys over. They're jacking up the price because the games are costing more money. But anyways, thanks for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys at least understand a little bit. Even if you don't agree with me, at least take some time to think about it, and maybe what I said will kind of sink in and you'll kind of understand a little bit better. But that's just obviously my opinion. If you think I'm full of shit, then, feel free to hit the dislike button, I guess. Freedom of speech, you can do whatever you want. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I love you. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to drop the video a like. Let me know if you're liking the Star Wars content, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out, everyone.